Hi everyone and welcome back to the Dog Mom Life channel. My name is Stephanie and I share this channel and my life with two gorgeous rescue dogs. One is a senior Staffordshire Bullterrier cross and the other one is a Wadi dog puppy who is deaf and who just arrived from Oman a short while ago. And this is what we do on our channel, and today it's just me. Chalky is you can't see him right behind me, asleep, and Rambo is with my husband in the other room. So I would like to talk with you about canine enrichment, or like enrichment kind of games, enrichment for your dog's life. I have mentioned enrichment quite a few times in other videos. You might have seen it on Instagram, and you've seen the boys shredding boxes, etc. But I would like to give you just a quick overview of what canine enrichment actually is, what kind of types of canine enrichment there are, and what the benefits are, because we are big fans. I totally love it, the boys do love it, and I just hope that maybe you might find it interesting too and might want to give it a shot, because someone said it, and I don't know who it was, but I've come across it a few times already, and this really resonated with me. We have so much going on in our lives, but for our dogs, we are the whole world, right? So whatever we allow them to experience, whatever we provide them as experiences, is what their world is. So for me, this really gave me another push to make my boys' world as interesting as possible, and also having rescues, one from the streets and one who was basically more or less locked up in a room for the majority of his life. I want to have them the best time ever. So enrichment is a big part of our life, and maybe you want to try it too. Or if you have any tips and tricks for us, any fun enrichment games, any fun enrichment activities, maybe some DIYs, please do write them down in the comments below, because I'm always on the outlook for great new easy things to do. Also, like things we can maybe take on the go with us, etc. If you have anything to share regarding canine enrichment, then please do so. So this video will be more like what is it, and what are the benefits, but I will also do a whole series about it, where we show easy DIYs we use, but also games we use. We sometimes use the Ottosson games, etc., to just show you how are they being used, how easy it might be, how my boys are doing, because they're obviously like a senior dog as well as a puppy. They have very different levels of patience, I guess, but also obviously like experiences, etc. So maybe this would help you to find a game you would like to give a try, or maybe to get a closer look on what it actually is, what these games actually are, maybe some ideas, etc. Also maybe before you invest into something like an Ottosson game. Alright, without any further ado, let's get started. So first of all, to give you a quick overview of what are different types of enrichment, there's like different like categories. So one would, for example, be physical enrichment. So this could be anything from exercises to walks to games to maybe playing sports. Maybe you have a dog who even does agility or something else. So anything that gets your dog moving, that maybe gets you moving as well. It's the great thing about having dogs also, that we are living quite a healthy lifestyle with walking. Obviously not a guarantee, but we are like at least have to leave the house no matter the weather. So this is one part of enrichment. So to get the most of it, maybe you have one part of the walk where you play with a ball, or where you play with a stick, or whatever. Rambo and I, for example, have a routine. So we would go for a walk, and the first part of the walk would be like sniffing, where he can explore, where he can run free. Well, actually the first part is usually where we practice, where we train, where we have him obviously no chance to do his business, etc., but also where we still do leash training, where we still practice if he's off leash heel work, where we basically have a obedient walk. I don't want any leash pulling, etc., but then when we get to the park, he's usually off leash, at least then latest off leash, if not before, but then he's also free to run. Yeah, so then we have like one part where he can play with other dogs, etc. Where he can sniff as much as he wants, but also wait for him. But also then the other bit is where usually when we come to the certain kind of like grassy areas, like a field bit, where he wants to play, where I want to play, or where we then do some obedience training, like these exercises, like for example, where he has to cross my legs, or where we do middle and walking aids, etc. There's videos about this as well. They're the short ones. I will link them down below. It's like a fun little exercise routine, exercise and obedience routine that we just sometimes practice, especially when it's busy because I want him to focus on me. But then after this, he knows it's playtime. And we will play then as well. So there's like even within your walks, you can have different enrichment kind of like ideas already, or where you can maybe also do some like sniffle safari where we drop maybe some treats in the grass or whatever your dog likes, whatever your dog's breed or your dog's kind of type is. Whatever their thing is, right? You have like maybe if you have a Labrador, they like to bring things back. If you have a dog who likes to sniff, then maybe this might be for your dog. Whatever makes your dog happy, there's different ways to do this. So the first one is exercise or like physical enrichment. Another one is social, where you have your dogs being introduced to new people, new places, where they basically get socialized, not just with other dogs but also with like social settings, if that makes sense. Maybe taking your dogs to new streets, to markets, to new parks, maybe to dog parks, whatever, like introducing people into your home, etc. You have different experiences where your dog can meet and greet people, also learn to obviously greet people in a respectful manner without maybe jumping in their faces. Something we're working on. Also with Chuggies is something, he's the complete opposite, so it's something where we have to do a lot of work because he's still so terrified of people and streets, actually. Pretty close to this one is also like the kind of like environmental enrichment, where you have on one hand maybe go to different parks, where you maybe go to a forest, maybe you can go to a beach, maybe you can go to a national park, maybe you can go to somewhere where there's a river or like a little lake, where your dog might can have a swim, but also your own home, your own garden. So maybe you can create like sensory areas within your home. Maybe you can even, if you have a big garden or whatever, you maybe can even set up a little agility area at home. So there's like different areas, I guess, like linked between like social and environmental. But you can combine different categories, obviously, all together. Also the walks, like if you go to a new place, if you have a walk in a new kind of like environment, a new park, then this might be really interesting for a dog as well. Maybe you go somewhere where they can run free, then obviously you have like the exercise element with it, etc. One fun thing Rambo and I used to do, at the moment we have to be a bit more practical, going back to like more routines, because we are helping Chalky to settle, to be more confident. So we are currently not really experimenting, or sometimes I take Rambo on my own for a little walk in the evenings. But what we used to do and what we really enjoyed doing, and we will be doing as well soon again, is having in the evenings. So maybe during the day we start there. So we had obviously like our environment, and if you're busy, you have a real life. You don't have always time to do every time in different park when you go somewhere. In our old neighborhood, we had like different little parks to choose from. So we would choose different little parks, which were basically the same distance, all of us. So it would not take any longer or short amounts of time for me to go there. But it would get out of my comfort zone because we were busy going to different parks. But also, maybe going to dog park when we knew there would be his doggy friend, etc. And then in the evenings, and this is what we really love doing, is exploring the neighborhood. So Rambo usually walks off leash in the evenings because he's like so well trained, so I can completely trust him and he takes on responsibility. Or even if he's on leash, you can do it with your dogs on leash too. But we would explore the neighborhood, so we would walk in a different direction. And he also enjoys walking in the streets, so very different to Chalky. And where he was allowed to have a sniff safari, like basically a very safe one, obviously, like in a distance where he would easily be, be close in a reaching distance for me, but where he would be allowed to follow kind of like his nose and find different ways. And this was really interesting. We still love doing this. I mean, by now we know even our new neighborhood very well, but it's a great opportunity for you to get to know your environment like really well, to walk different streets, different side streets, to just see your own environment with like different eyes, I guess. Please obviously make sure you're safe and have maybe phone with you and find your way back. But yeah, it's just a very fun thing we do. And obviously, Rambo's not completely in charge. If I don't want to go anywhere, if I want to go home, or if I think it's too far, then we still go back. But, it's just a very different walk as if we would, for example, go in the morning where I might have a meeting afterwards. And, we're on a strict time schedule. And where I tell him where we're going, where he's allowed to, have a little sniff or explore new environments, new sniffs, etc. Having said that, though, Rambo's a very confident dog. He's very well settled and he's not scared of people, streets, or anything. So for him, it's really enjoyable. With Chuck, it's very, very different. Depending on where we would go, it's super stressful for him. So this would be not really enjoyable for him. But obviously, he has to get used to things too, but in a very different manner. Then we also have sensory enrichment, which basically combines all their different senses. So we have hearing, we would have taste, we would have smell, touch, we would have seeing things. With one dog who's deaf and with one dog who is totally chill with like voices or like noises, fireworks, etc. So for him, we are not too keen on like the hearing kind of bit. So maybe you have a dog who's very scared of noises. So maybe desensitizing your dog would make sense. Maybe you have a dog who goes complete and utterly meta whenever the doorbell rings, so maybe to get them used to the doorbell, get them desensitized, etc. So this might be something for you, but also obviously the smelling one, we love snuffle mats where they, or like sniffer mats where they have to, I don't even know what they're called, sniffle or snuffle mats. Well, these mats where they have to sniffle. Sorry, that was a really bad sniffle impression, wasn't it? But yeah, so we would drop things like food, etc., and they have to see where it is, or different touches, etc. So yeah, there's lots of things you can do. And then the other category is like the cognitive, so you get them like tired from like their mind, which I'm a really, really big fan of, because back in the days, Rambo was like, he had so much energy. Like we went for a 2-hour walk. He was playing with one of his best doggy friends for like ages. And we come home, I'm done, I'm tired. I have to do some work, and we come home and he wants to play even more. So it was really difficult for me to tire him out just like physically. Same with Chalky. He can run a lot, etc. But they wouldn't necessarily calm down until they're like also like mentally stimulated. So we love like the cognitive enrichment a lot. There's like the opportunity to have like puzzle games, or like generally like doggy games, brain games. We love the Nina Ottosson puzzles, but there's like so many different ways to do things. Also like easy DIY ones, where the dog basically learns to solve a problem and gets to the food, usually like gets to the treat or whatever it might be. I will also post a couple of videos, so I will probably do this like as a series. So today is more like talking about what it is and what are the benefits, but I will also include kind of like videos on easy DIYs to give you some ideas to what you can do, what you could use, because sometimes we have so many great things in our day-to-day life that we might throw out, but we could easily use, but we're just sometimes lacking ideas. So I would like to provide you with some ideas. If you have ideas, please do let me know, because I'm always on the outlook for great DIY ideas. Also, it's great if they are like affordable. So yeah, if you have something for us, also have a power chewer, so yes, hit me with it. But I will also introduce the Nina Ottosson games to you, the ones we have. There's also a few videos live already. I'll link them down below in the info box, where you can maybe just see whether this would be something you would like to spend money on, or something you think your dog would enjoy, or want to see how quickly my dog got it, etc. Because obviously you sometimes have to introduce your dogs to, especially like the more complex kind of games, because if they're not being introduced to them, they might get bored, and they might lose interest right from the get-go. Right, so as this video is already a bit longer than I thought it would be, I think I will split this video. So I will do this video, finish it here, and I will do a second one, which I will upload more or less around the same time, about the benefits of canine enrichment, so it doesn't get too long for you to watch. I had this already pre-filmed, but my camera kind of like crashed, so I had to redo it, and yes, this is where we end. So yeah, I will do a second video, what are like the benefits of canine enrichment, why I'm doing it, why I love it, and then upload everything else in the playlist, so you can find everything with one click if you like to. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.